Welcome to Unfiltered with SteveVon and Britt. This is a safe space,
helping you to freely think
and discover what you believe. Hey y'all,
What's
we back.
up?
It's episode 14 of the podcast.
Yeah.
We're so excited to be here with y'all today.
Yes, we are.
We're your hosts.
My name is SteveVon Lamar.
And I'm Britt Tashay. Welcome to Unfiltered with SteveVon and Britt.
Let's get
right into it. First off, I want to say hit the subscribe button, okay? If you haven't
Please.
subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button here on YouTube and also wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, if you didn't know, we launched a Patreon community.
Yes, we did.
And we want you to be a part of it. If you look at yourself as a cousin to us, we want you to be a part of the community. You could be just a cousin or a close cousin, okay?
Yeah.
Join the family, be a part of it. That's where we connect.
Come on, cuz.
All right, with all of the pleasantries out of the way, let's get into it. Let's go into our timeline takes.
Let's do it.
All right. So the first thing we want to get into is just wishing everyone a happy Black History Month. Yes.
For the culture, baby.
For the culture. For us, it's the shortest month, but it's the best month. So happy Black History Month. And I do want to highlight a special story for Black History Month. And I think each episode will highlight someone. And we're a little behind. And we'll explain why we missed an episode last week a little bit later.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and highlight today's Black History hero. And that is none other than Mr. Kendrick Lamar.
K-Dot.
A round of applause for K-Dot.
Come on, let's give him a round of applause.
This past, it's a couple weeks ago now, I believe.
Yeah.
He made history with the Grammys. He's now the
history maker.
Most
Grammy
awarded.
The most
insider, but the most Grammy awarded winning hip hop artist. So congrats to him.
Congrats, K-Dot. Kung Fu Kenny, as they call him.
From one Lamar to another.
Yeah, one Lamar to another.
All right, so thank you for that. Everybody, make sure you give Kendrick some hand claps.
Give the flowers while he needs them.
Absolutely.
While he's here.
All right, so let's go to the next thing we want to talk about that happened this week in our timeline. It's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Congratulations
Super Bowl.
to the Seahawks who won the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
What did you think about the Super Bowl this year?
I felt like the Super Bowl was, it was kind of weak. But I feel like I'm excited for the Seahawks a little bit because they look back,
Yeah.
And I guess it was like years ago, a decade almost, where they lost by 1 yard.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't run the ball in and they didn't get the touchdown with Russell Wilson. So they kind of got their lick back against the Patriots.
So did Russell Wilson not win a ring with them? I thought he won one.
He won one, but they went back and they should have won two.
Okay.
But in life, sometimes you can be 1 yard away,
That's sense. Okay, so with that, I do want to highlight though also that their owner, I hate the terms owner, but that's what they call it. Their owner is a woman, so they're a woman owned, and she also despises Trump. So yes, I'm all about her. I don't even know her name, but shout out to you, lady. Do you know her name?
I do not.
I should have looked that up. I'm sorry, y'all. But shout out to you, lady. Yeah. And I wish she would have said more during her acceptance speech. When they gave
she was just happy they won.
She was just so happy, and they were shouting out the 12 so many times. They call their fans the 12.
Fans the 12.
So if you're a 12 in the chat, let us know. But congratulations to the Seahawks for winning the championship. All right. So outside of the Seahawks, Bad Bunny.
He did his thing.
Bad Bunny performed. And it's just so crazy. Just all of the different things that people say, all the different things, that people, that we hear, the backlash or the support. It's so many mixed reviews about it.
For sure.
And so let's just tell how we felt about it briefly. I don't want to stay here too long, but I absolutely loved it personally. It was so beautiful with the moment that we're in right now in our country with seeing the Hispanic or Latin community that is being just, oh my gosh. Treated terribly right now by this administration.
So whack.
So to see their culture on full display,
it was
beautiful. Every moment of it, from him, going to the bodega and they said those were rice fields in Puerto Rico, or I'm sorry, not rice fields, but the sugar cane fields. And it's a whole background behind that where the Domino Sugar Company was exploiting their labor. So all of the light, he was shining light on things in his culture and things that happened, atrocities atrocities that happened to them and injustices as well. When they were on the power lines, there was a blackout that happened.
That was cool.
Due to a storm. It was a hurricane or something that came through and knocked out their power. And the government,
that in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, in Puerto Rico, and the government didn't do what was right by them. And also, by the way, our government doesn't know that Puerto Rico is a part of the United States for some reason.
Which is wild.
Like somebody posted
Puerto Rico.
He says it.
Rico.
Puerto. No,
it's the port of America.
Oh my god,
what I'm saying? That's what it is.
But somebody put up a meme, I want to say it was, of like all of the artists that are not from America that have performed, but it didn't get as much outrage as Bad Bunny. These artists were all not American. They were from Canada or wherever else they were from, and no one was outraged then. But now there was outrage on Bad Bunny. He's actually American. So that was absolutely crazy, but it just shows the racial, like how racist it is right now in our country.
And it's just the climate. I can't remember what year, but I know Shakira performed and he performed with her. Nobody said anything back then. It's just weird. But at the same time, I just thought the performance, like it was so beautiful from the way the camera moved. You know me as a creative, just knowing like, and you are as well, but like music, and we are so connected to that type of stuff. So seeing how they told a story from jump. I thought that was dope, how he had the football in his hand in the fields and starting out and then finish with the football and then said in the end, together we are America. Like that was so dope. Beautiful. Showing all the flags that represent our people and the country. And at the end of the day, which is weird, is like whenever they want us to like talk about immigrants, at the end of the day, this country is made up of a bunch of immigrants. We are all. Whether, I'm going to pause and say this, because I know we talk about the Super Bowl, but I want to say this. The fact that we act like this country is not filled with a bunch of immigrants. The fact that we as Black people, and I'm going to go off a little bit because Black History Month, we weren't asked to come here. They brought us over on boats and on ships. But then you can get mad about people that actually got here through a boat or snuck in, or however you want to say they got to America. You're mad at that, but they're mad because they didn't do it. When they brought us over here without our permission, it was cool. And pause for that. Like when we didn't ask for it, we didn't give the consent. It wasn't no full disclosure that we wanted to come over here. They brought our people. And when I say our people, because you may not see me, I'm a Black man. I'm an African-American man. My wife is African-American as well. And at the end of the day, you liked it when it worked for you. Right. It's cool. It's cool when you do it. It's a problem when I do it. Exactly. So at the end of the day, I thought it was so dope. Even if you really look and you find some time to look at it, I think some of the people were like, not just the fields, they were actual people, like as like kind of mannequins essentially. Well, I want to say to your point that someone, there's a quote that says no one's illegal on stolen land. Facts. So it's hard for like, I don't understand how we can try to penalize anyone at this point who is technically, we're all illegal. This is not our land. This belongs to the indigenous people and the natives who were here before any of us, So it's just built on a bunch of lies, and that's what this podcast is here for, to unlearn everything, including U.S. history and what they handed to us in the school system, because that's also a part of the cap as well. But one thing I did love also about his performance, besides him handing his Grammy to the little boy, which a lot of people are trying to figure out what that was, and I guess it's landing on more symbolism of like him giving the Grammy to his younger self, watching himself, like saying that, even saying to younger, Latin or Hispanic, I don't know which one is the proper like politically correct way to say it. So I'm not trying to offend anyone, I apologize, but trying to hand it to someone of the same heritage as him, to say like, hey, you can make it to, like, you can make it to the Grammys, or you can get a Grammy, you can make it to the Super Bowl stage, all those things. And the last thing that I love was the messaging of more love and less hate, or whatever. I can't remember the exact saying. It was like one of his quotes. That he said at the Grammys or whatever. I love that. The only thing stronger than love or than hate is love. That's what it was. Only thing stronger than hate is love. So I love that message, and we need more of that right now. I'm so glad they got to put their culture on display as a big FU to Trump and his administration. For real. And I was down with it. I didn't understand a word he was saying, but I was over there. Hey, mamacita. So Bad Bunny, yes, he did it. I mean, it reminded me back home in New York, when I like went, my people in Clinton Avenue. Shout out to my Rock City family. But the bodega, the music, music, all of the vibes is definitely there. So shout out to Bad Bunny.
Well, while that was happening, a Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's organization, they held an alternative version for the Christians that didn't want to watch Bad Bunny for whatever reason. Because they're racist. Let's just say it. That's the only reason. So they held their all white. It wasn't because
the music wasn't good.
Yeah, but they held their all white Super Bowl celebration or halftime show. Mm-hmm. And let's just run the numbers because we clearly see who the winner was. This episode,
it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be a lot of declaring of winners.
Men lie, women lie, but numbers
definitely don't. So let's run the numbers. So Turning Point in their halftime show had a whopping 5 to 6 million viewers that tuned in.
Whoop-de-doo.
Meanwhile, Bad Bunny had a crazy number of 128 million to 135 million people watching. So Fire. Bad Bunny, you did that. You're the winner. And we're with you.
Winning.
So yeah, it is what it is. Like, America is over the hate. We're over it. We never wanted to be a part of it, most of us. And the people who don't want to let it go and y'all trying to hold on to this white supremacist America, or as they're saying, I think online, white narcissistic America, let it go.
Definitely that.
That age is over and we're not going back, as Kamala said.
Facts.
We're not going back.
We're not going back. It's weird because like even the people that performed, I don't even know, didn't care too much about who was going to perform, but I did hear somebody was like, well, they have Kid Rock performing. Oh. Like, you're trying to make it so you're saying wholesome and whatever.
Kid Rock is not wholesome.
He's not wholesome. I mean, I never
People started pulling his lyrics, and I think he had some like inappropriate lyrics about underage girls and all types of stuff. But I mean, that tracks. That tracks with this administration. It tracks. I'm just saying. But let's get off of them.
Oh yeah.
Because they're not even worth all this time, honestly. But Bad Bunny is, Kendrick is, Seahawks. Congratulations. So yeah.
I mean, even we forgot to talk about Coco. I mean, she did her thing on.
I forgot about Coco. Did the vocals? Let's give her a hand clap.
Let's give her flowers.
She did good. She killed it. Her arrangement, the band or orchestra rather, everything. Her outfit, paying homage to Whitney Houston. She did good.
And then she did it. She's one of the first people to sing when she was a kid and as an adult.
Yeah, I saw that. So Coco did that. I'm proud of her. Black history represented. So let's go on from the Super Bowl and new news to y'all. Something else happened in the timeline. So I don't know if y'all saw this, but we went viral this past week. So let me go ahead and give you a little bit of backstory. What happened was I was just perusing on the internet, and I happened to be on Threads, and I came across this thread from, let me make sure I have his name right to give him credit, Nathan C. June or Jun, however you pronounce it. I came across his post where he said we should go, Melania's documentary, the First Lady of the United States, her documentary dropped that weekend.
Like a couple weeks ago,
a couple weekends ago. Her documentary was dropping, and he said, wouldn't it be funny if we went and streamed Michelle Obama's Becoming documentary the same weekend as her documentary, and make Michelle's go to number 1 while Melania's tanked. So I read it, and he only had like a few hundred likes. It wasn't a lot of reposts and all of that. So I'm like, oh, let me take this to TikTok, because I feel like TikTok, if you want to get news out fast, TikTok is where you want to go. And so I'm like, we need to do this. This is a great idea. So I took a screenshot of his thread to give him credit. And I came up with this video in my mind where I would just read the thread and then go turn on my TV, turn on Becoming, and sit down on the couch and watch it. And it would be less than, 15 seconds. And that was the post. That was it. And I mean, as a just quick way to encourage people of what the assignment was. So I did. I expected it would get, some traction, because I'm telling people, hey, like, let's beat Melania. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't expect for it to do what it did. So let's put up.
What did it do?
Let's put up the numbers of what happened. So we went viral, and it hit 1.8 mil, but right now, as we record this, it's sitting at over 2 mil right now. But through that, we were able to, people actually started streaming it, and we were able to break through the top 10. So I did a video, that's what you're seeing on screen, is I did a second video update where I updated the people like, oh my God, I was so shocked. We actually came together, all these millions of people, mind you, it's going viral on other platforms as well, but all these millions of people came together and we broke Becoming through the top 10.
We did. We broke Netflix.
Yeah. Well, I ain't gonna say we broke Netflix because it still functioned.
We bothered Netflix.
But we disrupted. Let's say it like that. We disrupted Netflix. So the movie ended up charting on the top 10
like
out
in one
of
day.
nowhere.
I remember it. It was like, okay, hey, this is kind of doing something. And then we woke up and said we was gonna watch it at 2 p.m. and we watched it. I think at 11 that morning. It was like maybe 600,000 views. I'm like, this is crazy.
You talking about on my TikTok video?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I'm talking about the actual movie though.
Oh yeah.
Because like we actually watched it that night for real, literally sobbing and crying because of like the hope that's in the movie. If you haven't seen it, you might have to stream it somewhere else because I hope you ain't watching it on Netflix. But I think it's on Pluto TV or whatever. But we are literally crying like, oh my God, the hope that our country had, the unity that we had.
It was beautiful.
Some of the, racism that was displayed was there, because it's the first Black president and first lady and family, first family. So, you got to see a little bit of that, but the hope, the people, how she was inspiring, how she was connecting with the people, meeting them where they were. It was just like, Trump could never. Okay. Melania could never. But anyway, so I made that second video, just updating the people. Oh my God, we broke top 10. We made it to the number 8 spot. Then they started like updating me in the comments, letting me know, no, now we're updated. We're at number 6. Right. So we started creeping up.
That's like the next day.
And I'm like, in my video, I actually said, okay, let's keep going, y'all. Let's run the numbers up. We could get to number 1.
Right.
Y'all, we went to sleep the next day. We woke up. I turned on Netflix because, mind you, we've been streaming it all weekend. We put it on in another room. Like people were doing that, just running it up in different rooms and stuff. And so we woke up, I went to Netflix, and it said that it was number 4, but it had moved to the kids movies chart.
A different category.
And I'm like, what the heck? And so I went on my TikTok and people blowing it up. Like, they moved it to the kids chart and what the heck? What's going on? This is crazy. Weird. So now, because I'm like the face of this whole thing, I'm like, oh shoot. Now I feel like I got to call out Netflix in a way, what the heck was that? So now I pull out my camera and I go off on Netflix. Not gonna lie, I went off on them.
Went straight off.
And y'all should go. I created a playlist on TikTok so you could literally watch all of this in order. But so I end up creating another video. Let's put those numbers up. And in this video, I'm literally calling out Netflix and I'm telling them stop the bullshit, literally. And that video hit over 500K. And so people were in the comments like, we need to give them a time and a date so we can all hit cancel if they don't respond. So that's what you're seeing on the second video. That second video hit over 500K and we gave them 48 hours to respond. And we gave them the date and time and said, if it's not fixed by then, we are boycotting. We're canceling our subscriptions.
Gotta have real change, gotta challenge the people.
Child,
this like the people was challenging us too.
The people was challenging us and Netflix. So I had to rise to the occasion. All of a sudden, I became a leader of a movement. I ain't even planning on being a leader.
You definitely did.
And so, so we end up. Which I'm not gonna lie with you saying that. Actually, I do want to kind of give the feeling that I had. I told my husband,
like, how did you feel? Because I know when I got home, like maybe a couple of days later, and the weight of it. I kind of could see it, and you kind of said it and shared it with me. But tell the people, like,
I was having anxiety after that second video where I gave them a date, like 48 hours and a certain time. I started having anxiety because, truth be told, I didn't plan on doing this. Right. I didn't plan on it becoming a boycott and all of these different things. My plan was to help lift up that idea and make that documentary really get to the top 10 and hopefully secure number 1. And we just have a great little celebration, a laughing moment, you know what I'm saying? A little petty protest.
Yeah, a little pee-pee.
And that's it. Like, we go back to our regular content, our regular scheduled program, but Netflix didn't understand the assignment, and they picked the wrong side. Yeah. So I started feeling this anxiety about the weight of this, you know what I'm saying? Because people started messaging me like, what we doing? And still right now at this very moment,
what's next?
On those videos and the new videos that we've been posting, like, what we doing? What's next? Like, you're such a leader. You're like, I'm like, oh my God. So it just was a lot of, I could feel the weight of the moment that I never asked for, but I'm a leader and been raised to be a leader, so I know I'm equipped for it. Right. But it was just so many eyes. Yeah. You know, so many comments, so many notifications. Yeah, and I was like, whoa.
This is different.
So the final update ended up being after the 48-hour period. Netflix did remove it from the kids chart, but they did not return it to its place where we requested that they put it. So they end up putting it on the most liked chart is where it finally landed, which is against what our demands were. So we said, okay, well, since y'all want to play, we're going to follow through with what we said. We're canceling. So I put up this final video, and yeah, that one went viral too.
Right, exactly.
So it went to 2.4 mil, and it's getting close to 3 million at this point. And if you didn't know, now you know. We're boycotting Netflix. Yeah. They have to go because they played in our face.
They did.
And it's bigger than just one documentary. It's about the visibility. It's about the power. It's about them, these corporations playing in our faces. They literally pulled a target on us. They were performative to me and acting like allies when we put our demands out there. And each time they met them subtly, you know, subtly. I mean, excuse me. And not even. They did little things to let us know what we're watching. You know what I'm saying? We hear y'all.
People were calling. We got videos of people calling. You got people saying they were messaging them.
People were calling Netflix. They were emailing them. They were everything, man. Customer service was probably just getting overrun because people were like, put it back where it belongs, you know? And
it's not that hard, but we know why.
Right. So the bigger story to it is that we all, if you don't know, rather, Netflix is in the middle of a merger or acquisition of
Warner Brothers.
Not Paramount. Is it Paramount?
They're part of it. And HBO.
CNN, HBO. And it's I think
even TNT I was reading too.
Yeah.
So it's actually more than I thought.
Yeah.
But what was even crazier, like, that I've seen outside of just that movement, and we're still going to talk about that, but recently just hearing, because I heard it before, but like hearing it now, it made me feel even more proud about what we're doing, because it's good work, is the CEO telling people, well, if you don't like the prices now, when we acquire HBO, you can just go ahead and go somewhere else. Like just this, it's just that narcissistic side, this arrogance, like you said. I was talking to my dad the other day. I'm like, man, you know how much it costs? He's like, I'm not paying nothing that much. He realized he isn't, because he got T-Mobile and they got the, you know, everybody thinks
a lot of people were in the comments saying I get it free through my phone bill, so they think that it's free.
It's not free.
It's not free.
It's a portion
because we had it through our phone bill through T-Mobile, and we were paying it's discounted, but it's still you're paying. Discount,
and the price kept going up. Yeah. So it was like, wait, one day we was looking at our bill like, what?
And it started out free, then it went to $7, then it went to $18.
Exactly. It was like $9.99 at the time, and they paid most of it, and now it's $26.80.
Yeah.
Like, people really don't know. And then if T-Mobile,
when I canceled it, it's $18 that was added onto our bill. But what they try to charge you after I canceled it was the full amount, the full $26.80,
or something like that. And so I told my dad, he was like, what the? Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, like, you don't know. And that's why they got the app, you know, Rocket, you know, whatever that Rocket app is, you could actually see all the apps that you're using, how much you really are paying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, with that being said, it made me feel even better about what we are doing. Because at the end of the day, it's a ton of other apps and engines that you can use that are free, discounted, and they're not lying with their price, and they're not trying to like trick you with these subscriptions behind the scenes with T-Mobile or any other company, you know? And then the arrogance of just like, if you don't want to do it, then find somewhere else.
And his wife, people were saying in the comments, I can't believe he did this as a CEO. He's married to a black woman. It doesn't matter. If he's trying to, at the week that this was happening, they were appearing before the government to try to, you know, get their merger approved. And so this was just the timing of it all. They're trying to do anything they can to curry favor. You know, they're not going to step on Trump's toes when they're trying to get the government to approve their merger. So at the end of the day, they chose the wrong side. You always stay with the side of the people. And if anything you learn from other people's lessons, should have learned from Target.
Target, man.
Because the people are against Target right now because Target is against our communities and it's very performative. So same thing with Netflix. I don't care how many Black creators y'all put on and all of this or whatever they claim to be allies, you didn't show up in the way that you were supposed to. Let's go to our next segment where we just kind of talk about some lessons unlearned.
Lessons unlearned, baby.
Where we talk about what we are unlearning this week. And if you have something that you are unlearning, please let us know in the comments. We want to connect with you and have conversations with you about just different things you're processing. But I want to piggyback on what we talked about last week. We do this part because we are still deconstructing. We are still unlearning. And even when we talk about things, even when we talk about things in the timeline takes, it's from a perspective of someone who used to have religious blinders on. We used to be those people who used to be at an alternate Super Bowl celebration or halftime show.
Something different.
Like at our church used to have Super Bowl celebrations and all of that. And we would have a talent show or something during the halftime. So we were those people. So when we talk about it, it's through people who have been liberated due to unlearning and deconstructing. And so that's everything that you hear from us is coming from new lenses, baby. Like we are so happy to be free, happy to be at peace. But I want to get into kind of connecting what we talked about last episode. And by the way, that's why we missed an episode last week. I forgot I was going to tell y'all that was because we went viral and it was crazy and overwhelming and we couldn't catch up on episodes. We were trying to catch up on that. We started a movement, people.
We did.
But we back. So
we back.
The last episode 13, we talked about unlearning perfectionism. And it's so crazy because we had like a conversation this week where we kind of talked through that, just some challenging moments. But I wanted to do a little like research, the Virgo in me, like as much as I want to get on here and just shoot the shits and talk and all that, which we do that, sometimes I'll be like, I need to like provide some like information as well because I want to know for myself, you know, and then let people know where the root of it comes from.
Give people insight.
So I just want to read something really quick that I looked up because I wanted to know what the origins and where perfectionism came from. And so let me just kind of share this and then we can talk about it. So Christian perfectionism didn't start with modern purity culture. It has historical roots going back centuries. In the early church, theologians like Augustine emphasized humanity's sinfulness and the need for moral discipline. Over time, I knew I was gonna mess that word up. I'm gonna skip it. Over time, movements in the 3rd and 4th centuries prompted strict self-denial and spiritual rigor as signs of holiness. In the 1700s, Methodist founder John Wesley introduced the doctrine of Christian perfection. Importantly, Wesley did not teach sinless perfection. He defined it as perfect love, meaning a heart fully oriented towards loving God and others. However, later holiness movements in the 1800s interpreted this more strictly, teaching that believers could reach a state of entire sanctification or freedom from willful sin. In the late 19th and earlier 20th centuries, Pentecostal, of course, the Pentecostals, and holiness traditions expanded these ideas, often tying spiritual maturity to visible moral behavior. Holiness became measurable in dress, speech, sexuality, and lifestyle. In the 1990s and early 2000s, evangelical purity culture reinforced perfectionist standards, especially around sexual behavior, marriage, and gender roles. Messages often suggest that obedience would produce predictable blessings, strong marriages, and obedient children, and also financial stability. So historically, Christian perfectionism began as a theology of wholehearted love, but in many contexts, it evolved into a culture of visible performance.
That is crazy.
That blew my mind.
It makes sense, though.
Yeah,
it
go
makes
ahead.
sense. I don't know. It just is crazy because it's like the thing that they do. Like it's always putting something in place to make people like fight for or aspire to, right? When the whole thing was about love in general, right? And so the thing that was supposed to help became the thing that they use as harm. And that's what we talk about here all the time. We're going to expose harm, whether it's through doctrine, whether it's through action, whether it's through whatever, indoctrination. And we want to make sure that you see it. And sometimes it takes time to see it. But I would say this about deconstructing. Once you see it, it's hard to unsee. So that's the main part. And that's the main thing here is what we want to help to push is to unlearn.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to unlearn. It's almost harder to unlearn than it is to learn. Because new stuff that you're learning, you're like, oh, excited about it. But when it comes to unlearning, it's like, wait, where do I go from here?
Yeah.
And if you're listening, I'm going to speak to some of the people on here or if you're listening and watching as well, when it comes to deconstructing, if you're doing that actively, I know sometimes it can feel dark. I know sometimes it can feel like you're lost. I know, yes, liberating, but sometimes you feel lost as well. And you're trying to figure out, where does this fit? Or what do I do with this? At the end of the day, it's your own journey. So don't feel pressure to make it something that it isn't. Yeah. Or copy someone else, or make it be what it was in when you were a Christian or in your other faith or whatever. Just let it be, and you begin to set it up however you desire. If you want to take things out, take things out. If you want to add things in, add things in. It is your belief. It is your process, and that's why I think the issue is too. People don't even know how to believe. They don't know how and what they believe, and so when you start giving them the freedom and reminding them that you have the control and the autonomy to do that, a lot of times they're scared to do it. But the beauty of taking this information, definitely for us, because we were talking this week about perfection. That's definitely me, you as well, and being Virgos. Virgos perfectionists, but letting yourself be free to release yourself from the pressure of perfection. Yeah.
And specifically, I just want to be a little transparent or vulnerable, whichever word you want to put there. But this week we were talking about perfectionism and how, as being the oldest, we're both the oldest
for sure.
We both grew up heavily involved in church, leaders in the church or whatever, and just this pressure of all of those things. It shows up in more ways than just those specific roles. And even when you're taught it, it's whatever that scripture is when Jesus said to strive for perfection or whatever it was. That gets ingrained in you. Sure. I have to be, because of the way that they preached it, was this perfectionism of how I have to live my life, right? I have to be this example, this light and darkness and all of this stuff. And so you have this pressure that's
heavy.
Yeah, man. It's a lot.
Light and darkness, what?
It's just a lot of weight, a lot of unnecessary pressure when you already have enough pressure, especially as a Black person, you know what I'm saying, existing in America or in the world, period. Yeah. And so when you add on that added pressure of perfectionism, it's just a lot. And then it doesn't go away. As you advance in your Christian walk, it gets worse, and you have more access to more options to do more things, right? Which they call temptation. Right. So that feeling of falling short, missing the mark is always following you. It's always there. And so with us in our marriage, we are both, like I said, the oldest. We're used to having to be perfect and show up certain ways. Yeah, both leaders, and having to just be certain ways. And so something happened this week, and my husband, I had to tell him, I don't need you to show up perfectly here. Right. I need you to just be. I need you to let your hair down and just be, because I felt a lot of pressure on him, to try to be all the things. You're trying to be this great husband, trying to do everything right, walking on, he's free to be himself. And I know I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I feel like that, but then there's still moments where you feel like I can't mess up. Because then if I mess up, it might cause an argument. It might cause a fight, whatever, and it's arguments and fights are going to happen.
Well, the pressure that you feel, I think I even shared this with you, even at work, you want to make sure, because work, you got to do good. You got numbers. Every job, most times there's metrics. At the end of the day, if you're not hitting them, I don't care if you work in sales or you work in ministry where we used to work, or whatever it may be. And then they work at McDonald's. They want to make sure that you got enough sandwiches getting delivered at a certain time. They got a clock on the screen for making sure the food is getting to the window quick enough. So it doesn't matter the level of what occupation you have. And I know you probably feel that out there. At the end of the day, that pressure, you okay, when you get home, you can let your hair down. I said that to you, I don't, man, sometimes I just want to let my hair down. You don't even have a lot of places, especially as Black people and a Black man in America, to let let your hair down.
Do you feel like you can let your hair down here?
Of course. I mean, every day. Seriously, I really do appreciate that. I mean, even when you reassured me, like I was telling my dad this, I said, Britt touched my arm. And I was just like, man, I just broke down, like, because I feel like at the end of the day, if I'm being vulnerable, it's like, we don't have that a lot of places. And I'm gonna be real, a lot of as black men or just and even black women, they got a lot that they got to go through and carry, and there's single moms out there.
I'm black. We got a lot.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, there's some black women that are, some of them are single moms trying to run the household and do whatever they can to take care of their home. Shout out to the single moms.
Yeah.
Then there's some dads, black fathers, just trying to, like, they may not be in the home with the same person, but they're trying to be a good dad and co-parent on the outside. So there's a lot of weight, and a lot of it comes from being impoverished, or even if your family wasn't impoverished, but there's a weight on our culture that is impoverished. So even if you are the person that's successful, you have money, you're doing well, you're probably the only one in your family, or you're probably the one everybody's asking for help for, or, so at the end of the day, that weight is heavy. And so it's like, where do you get relief at? Where do you get a chance to be like, I'm good, I don't gotta do nothing?
And even when you do have a place of relief, a lot of times you still have this standard for yourself. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what was happening this week. It was like, you feel like, and I know you have this space, you told me, and I've seen you lay your hair down, but at certain points you still feel like, damn, I didn't do that right. Exactly. I missed the mark on that, or I didn't, and I'm just like, babe, there is no right way. There is no wrong way.
But I want to make sure I do it right for you, babe.
I understand. See, y'all see his perfectionism creeping out. I'm just
saying, I want you to know that. Like,
I know, but I want you to know, y'all watching us live in the moment do it, but this is what I was trying to reassure you, that it's okay. We're going to mess up. Yeah. I'm going to get it wrong. You're going to get it wrong. Right. The point of it is growth.
Right.
That's evolution. True. It's like grace. I got to give you grace to learn, to figure it out. You got to give me grace to learn and figure it out. And we're growing, we're transforming, we're becoming.
Definitely becoming.
Back to becoming.
For real.
And so that's what I wanted you to know, is like, you don't have to show up perfect for me. I don't need you to be perfect here. I want you to know that you have space to evolve, know that you have space to grow. And I told him, I feel like right now, I hate saying the word season because it's so, like, I literally just reject all things churchy when I want to, because when I want to be churchy, I will be for no reason. But I don't say season, but in this moment of our lives, I literally told him, I want us to be in our eat, pray, love moment. Like, I want us to be, if y'all haven't seen it, it's a white lady, of course, she has the privilege to do this, but she goes and travels the world to find herself. She goes and practices a different religion or whatever to meditate and find herself, and she's carefree. She ain't worried about that job. She ain't worried about nothing. She got divorced, all that. I ain't saying I want no divorce. That ain't what I'm talking about. But I'm just saying, like, that carefree spirit, I literally think I use the term like embrace that hippie life again. You know what I'm saying? It's carefree. I'm not living in the state of like what someone told me life should look like. Right. Checking any boxes or showing up in a way that anyone told me was acceptable and how I should show up. You know, like I gotta have a house by this point. I gotta have kids by that point.
Everybody's telling us what to do, when to do, and from a kid. Oh man, get off that table. Stop making all that noise. And so a kid hears all that. And by the time they become a teenager, they know I can't do that. I can't act out that way. When you become an adult, you're like, I'm not going to jump up and be excited. I'm not, you know the whole phrase, dance like nobody's watching. A lot of us are not dancing like no one's watching because we're so worried about who's watching. You know what I'm saying? And so I was talking to my dad about this the other day, and that carefree that you're talking about, he was basically saying, I just want to just chill. He's like, some days I'm working, I see, he's like, I think he said he went to a restaurant or something, seen just, like you said, some white people just sitting at the bar, just chilling in the middle of the day.
And it's so crazy because,
I'm just being real.
It's so crazy because like in Christianity, they talk about like that being freedom. How many times I sing the song Freedom?
Oh my gosh.
All of that, but that, literally when I look back on those times, I'm like, man, we were so bound. We couldn't even listen to
remember that one time?
We couldn't even listen to a damn song. We never went to any concerts outside of Christian concerts. And it's not just about those simple things.
Because people think it's only that.
It's really about the constructs and the indoctrination. It's about the programming. Yes. That's the word. It's about the programming that's placed on you, and how to be a good girl, how to be a good Christian girl, how to be a good righteous Christian man, and be holy and acceptable. Like I read through this history of what was indoctrinated in us, when the whole thing was about perfect love. Showing perfect love to people and loving God. If you subscribe to that, loving God, loving others, it's the greatest commandment theology, like Christian A talks about, all you know day. And so it just blew my mind taking it back to that, like it's all about love, and that gives me more room for myself, give myself grace to, like, I have to love myself. Like, that's that greatest commandment theology. Like, you can't love others, you can't love God unless you first love yourself.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people not loving themselves. So that's why they're not loving others.
Exactly.
You know, and that's why they're looking at people that don't look like them, and they have an issue with their freedom or how they present themselves and their autonomy and their agency that they get to live in. And they're like, well, I can't, then you can't. You know, our Q plus community, they be at them about that, like, well, because they're free, you mad that they're free, you know,
because you really struggle with your sexuality. Exactly. Not even, you just deny yourself, you suppress it and all of that, and
seeing them be free,
and so you're mad. It's like, come on, man, you hate on them. It's literally, that's a part of the perfectionism, all of it, which is what it talked about in that whole history. Like, man, we gotta let it go. Even people who are not religious deal with this. You know, it has its roots in everything, you know, because Christianity has its roots in our society. It has its roots in our government, in our culture,
in our country.
Yeah, in our country, all of it. So when you talk about that, just think about it, even from the standpoint of like capitalism and all of that. It's just this perfectionism, this standard that you have to meet. You gotta, you know, do all of these different things in order to be the best, in order to, you know, achieve success and make it to the top of, you know, everything. And be,
it's always a ladder. There's always something, right? And it's like, we were talking about it this week, like feeling like, I remember I was coming home one day, and I was in my Uber, and I was talking to a guy. He was from Africa, and I was like, it was like rush hour, and we were stuck in traffic. And I was like, I'm gonna have a conversation with him. And I said, I feel like everything just feels rushed, because I just got off the phone. I do sales. This is last year, and I'm like, okay, now I'm in the Uber. But now I'm like, I gotta rush and get home, and now I'm inside of the rush hour and the traffic, and I'm like, then I can see him struggling with, like, man, I gotta drive him all the way through this, and it's just like everybody just feels rushed. And I asked him, he said something that was so profound to me. I said, how was the difference from here in Africa? He was like, everything feels rushed, and that's when it hit me. And I was like, and then I felt like I didn't have no rest, and it's like you're just battling between rush and no rest, and that's all you feel, and that's all you have, and that's all. You only have so many PTO days, you only have so much vacation time, and it's like, and most of your vacation days are already planned. You know, like you don't even have sometimes we need vacation time from the vacation time.
Yes, for real. You be ready to vacation when you get back from the vacation.
I need 3 more days from the vacation.
A staycation from the vacation.
And a lot of times we don't get to experience that because of our country and the capitalism that we have to continue to push the machine. That's why you see it in ministry, in church, you see it in the world, you see it in market. And it's like, what is going on? Can we ever pause? And I think one of the biggest issues that I see and I've felt is, I think we were talking about it this week, is that we were taught to be. What are you going to be? Everybody asks that to kids. What are you going to be when you grow up? Like, man, I'm 6 years old. Why I got to figure that out?
Right.
And then I wanted to be a fireman. You heard a kid, I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a doctor. And then they get older. They don't do any of those things, right? Because they don't even know the weight that they're actually speaking into, but we put a weight on them.
Yeah.
And it should never be about us like finding out what we want to be. It should be about us embracing becoming.
Just being.
And being, right? And I think even with the documentary watching, I was like, man, like she didn't just turn it into Michelle Obama. She was working on that journey this whole time. It was setting up, her whole life was setting her up to be the first lady of our country. And she really did care about people, and she really does care about people. And I think if we all were on the journey of just trying to figure out how to become and be okay with being versus trying to be something, we could actually be better.
Yeah.
And I really think we need to do that.
When you said that, I'm going to leave on this note. When you said that, it made me have an alliteration come to mind, because, you know, we love alliteration, but you really love an alliteration.
I love it.
But when you were saying that, I thought, inside of, when you live in a state of perfectionism, you live without peace.
That's true.
Because you're constantly trying to be perfect, and it brings on shame. It brings on all these different things, this pressure, all this stuff that comes along with perfectionism. Yeah. When you just need to embrace being, just embrace becoming, embrace the journey. Yeah. Just embrace being free. Like, this is the one life we get to live that we know. Right. Have fun in this existence that you have.
Have fun, be free, man.
Be free, let go of perfectionism, and embrace peace. Yeah. I want to leave on that note. I think that's a good one.
Let's do it.
Woo, let's all breathe. But thank y'all so much for joining us for episode 14 of the podcast. Fun. We appreciate it so much. It was a good one. And if you don't know, it's a kickback going on in the Patreon. All of the cousins, we come together, and we're building it right now. You know, we're going to show up as if people are there until you get there. It's a party being built for you.
We're waiting on our cousins.
Yeah, we're waiting on y'all. So join us in the Patreon, where we can have more conversations with you one-on-one and connect. We want to hear in the comments, what is something you're unlearning right now? Put that in the comments of this video, or join us on Patreon and start a conversation there. Do it.
But cousins care about the conversation.
Absolutely. And also hit the subscribe button if you hadn't already, right here on YouTube or wherever you're listening to podcasts. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can get notifications when new episodes come out. Yeah. And also follow us anywhere that we're on social media, which is really just TikTok and YouTube. That's it.
It's that simple.
Just stay connected with us. We love y'all, cousins. But yeah, that's it. Thank y'all for coming in here for episode 14. We will see you next time.
Yes, can't wait.
Peace.